Jake Paul is a gambling man and has never missed raising the stakes. Keep in mind that he is the same man who famously agreed to the double or nothing bet with Tommy Fury's father ahead of their bout in 2023. Furthermore, who can forget his own Betr app through which he has officially become a part of the sports gambling industry itself. So, there was no way he wouldn't take his chance during one of the biggest UFC headliners of the year. Especially when his friend was one of the combatants. On Sunday, former UFC bantamweight champion Sean O'Malley sought to settle the score from his defeat to Merab Dvalishvili 9 months ago. However, in a similar script, Suga tapped out to Dvalishvili's north-south choke in the third round. But how does it affect Jake Paul? Well, the problem child, who has repeatedly challenged UFC honcho Dana White to bets, took a gamble but picked the wrong opponent. On Sunday, during the closing sequence of the UFC 316 headliner, Paul's fantasy betting app, Betr team uploaded a video on its Instagram page. The footage showed Jake Paul and 3 friends reacting with horror as Sean O'Malley was choked out. The 27-year-old even predicted the final move of UFC bantamweight champion, calling out, "He's gonna get that guillotine." In the end, that is exactly what the UFC bantamweight champion did to secure his second victory against Suga. Well, if it wasn't obvious who Jake Paul and his friends were betting on, problem child's audible no as the machine jumped out of the cage to celebrate made it obvious that they picked the wrong guy. Betr team captioned the video "What is next for Suga Sean?" Eyes asking fans to predict the next move for the 30-year-old, and let's just say the fans were not kind to either him or Jake Paul. A user instantly commented, "For casuals betting against Merab LMO, challenging Jake Paul and his crew's familiarity with UFC." According to the user, Dvalishvili is one of the most dominant grapplers in the UFC at the moment. So, any sane person who has been following the sport wouldn't bet against him. Another user chimed in with, "UFC has its most dominant champs that it's ever seen before RN, acknowledging the UFC bantamweight champion's greatness. Indeed, Merab Dvalishvili has been on a tear and hasn't lost a fight since April 2018. The June 8 defense was his 13th consecutive victory inside the octagon as he joined the elite list of John Jones, Khabib Nurmagomedov, Georges St. Pierre, Max Holloway, and Demetrius Johnson, who have previously achieved this feat. While the machine received tons of praise, fans weren't kind to Jake Paul and had a chuckle at his loss. A user wrote, "Look like they lost someone money face with tears of joy." Another user, agreeing with the sentiment, wrote, "They all lost a ton of money grimacing face, as it was obvious from their expression." Throughout the NFL season, Jake Paul frequently used the Betr app and openly shared his bets. However, for this event, while he admitted to losing, he kept the amount under wraps, suggesting the problem child might have taken a hefty hit. While everyone came on to the 28-year-old, a fan decided to acknowledge the caption. And according to him, there should only be one path for Sean O'Malley, retirement. However, at this moment, Suga is only 30, and despite this being his second consecutive loss, he can bounce back, but he has to get back in the line at least. What do you think is the next step for O'Malley? Chime in with your thoughts down below.